Uh, Welcome to CV Magazine. We have a lovely guest with us on a very, very special day, Mr. Mahesh Babu, who is not only CEO of Switch Mobility India, but he's also looking at the global affairs. Thank you so much for sparing the time. I know it's a big day for you at Switch, as well as from the Ashok Leyland celebrations perspective. So
Thank
let's
you.
start with the launch first.
Yeah.
You gave us a first glimpse at Auto Expo. From that time to now, quite a few months have passed. So, what has been the on ground exercise to take this to a commercial launch stage?
Yeah. So, firstly, Ashish, we believe that we are entering a new segment
Hmm.
after successful foray into the bus segment in the last 2.5 years.
Right.
Now, in the bus segment, for example, we have reached from a 3% market share to a 20% market share. India's first electric double decker. So, we have done reasonably well, I would say,
Right.
in the segment. And now, Switch is established as a brand
Hmm.
in India and globally, and that's going well. Now, we have displayed the IeV series in the Auto Expo as a concept. I think customers liked it. Many of them approached us,
Right.
and that has also given us a lot of input. So, what has happened in the last few months is the customers have seen the product, interacted, and they are now what I would say certifying that this one of the winning products are going to be in the market due to
Right.
the following reason.
Right.
See, we have focused mainly on commercial vehicles turnaround time.
Okay.
So, if you look at it, we have worked on a high voltage architecture, which is a 330-volt system, which is efficient and quick to charge.
Okay.
In the fast charging, we can do less than an hour. We can get up to 80% charge. So this makes us the vehicle to run around up to 300 kilometers in a day.
Right.
You know that more and more we run, it's more economical for them. So that is the first part. We have ensured that we have the architecture, EV architecture, which is scalable and modular across the vehicles which we are, and we can get quickly into the market with the multiple products.
Right.
The second one is we have focused on the driver comfort and the changed scenario, what's happening in the lifestyle of the people. So if you look at it, we are the first one going to launch with IeV Series and CEPS, which is column mounted electronic power steering, which will make the drive very comfortable.
Okay.
And the shifters are all touch based, and the driver can walk through the cabin. And we have given multiple comfort facilities to the customers. We also believe the interiors were made very car-like to make sure the lifestyle of the customers move up in this segment, and it's going to be a different experience without a clutch driving it. Fatigue is coming down, and then the throughput and productivity of anybody who is using the IeV series is going to be improving.
Right.
The third part, what we have done is the connected mobility solution. So we are giving an app of Switch Ion,
Okay.
which will be connecting the driver app, will be connecting to fleet management, charging infrastructure, and the vehicle. So you will have complete visibility and control of this ecosystem around the vehicle, and you can improve it, monetize it, and monitor it and monetize it.
Okay.
So that's the benefit you will have. And the third and fourth part is you will see we are tying up with the dealers who are the current network, who are ready, getting trained now, so that when the vehicles goes to the customers, we have a complete 75 touch points where we are across the India, where we are giving training, dealer management system and everything, so that they are fully prepared to be done.
Right.
And today we are also signing an MOU up to 13,000 vehicles. Some of our big partners like Amazon, Flipkart, Catty, Transworld, many of them who believe in this vehicles series, IeV series, and they are committed to buy our vehicles over a period of time. So we have the customers. The last one is we are also tying up with financiers. You will see HLFL, IndusInd Bank, and other banks who are coming and tying up for financing these vehicles,
Right.
which is one of the key important factors. So this launch is now coming up with a complete ecosystem of not just the innovative product, but the channel, the support, the customers, and the financiers together for us to get ready to it.
Right. So you made my life easy by pretty much touching up everything, but I'll go a little deeper into those things. See, till now, for some reason, you, or for obvious reasons, you are perceived as a EV bus company. But you made a very interesting point at Auto Expo, saying that the bus opportunity was about 16 billion and 42,000 units, compared to this space, which is about 55 billion and 4,20,000 units.
Absolutely.
Has anything altered over there? And just for our subscribers, to establish the fact that this is going to be far bigger a space for you compared to your e-buses.
Absolutely. See, our intention is to democratize zero carbon mobility, not
Right.
just by passengers, but also on the goods delivery segment.
Right.
If you look at the passenger segment, we always come up with innovative product and technology. That's
Right.
how we brought in with the electric double decker
Yes.
first in the country.
Yes.
Similarly, we are bringing IeV Series first in the country with high voltage system, with first in class electric power steering. Well, this segment have been not very driver friendly, and there is a transition happening.
Right.
There is a dawn of a new era happening in that segment where people's lifestyle are changing. The predictability of the route planning is much more than taking some ad hoc routes, and a lot of organized players are coming in, and hence this will be a one. Only in the LCV segment, what we have seen in the last year is the adoption takes a little bit delayed when compared to the what our prediction is, just because there is only one player in the market.
Yes.
But we will come and actually drive this segment. That's
Right,
how we are looking at it.
Right. Did you battle an eyelid when they came out with their legacy model in the EV guys, and giving that legacy advantage that they have? How ready are you for that kind of a competition?
No, I am actually very welcoming competition, because what's happening is customers will get the best out of us.
Right. Right.
And I also believe the technology what we are using, the process by which we are adapting and orienting ourselves towards customer, and completely working on the ecosystem till the end to end, which has given us a lot of knowledge in the bus segment, has gone into this.
Right.
So we understand the customers, we create products for them, we look at the ecosystem to support them, including charging, financing, dealer network, everything. I think that will be our strength. And always EV will have a challenge on the legacy diesel, what I would say, application. And we need to handhold our customers, our dealers, over a period of time till they pick up the concept selling and make sure that this is what they believe in what we are saying.
Right.
So what we have delivered in the bus segment is what we promised to the customers, and I believe Switch as a brand will deliver what we are promising to the LCV segment as well.
Right. We've seen you visiting plants in recent times. So a word on what are the kind of supply side, manufacturing side efficiencies that will come along with this product and make it a class apart.
So the advantage we have is we are utilizing mostly the assembly line of Ashok Leyland, and we are using only some processes at the Switch plant to make sure that the EVs are assembled and tested and taken care of that.
Right.
So we can scale up pretty fast. That's one. Second one is cost efficiencies will be better both for Switch as well as the parent company Ashok Leyland. So we are leveraging the asset much better well. The channel very similarly is very advantageous, because we are using most of the Ashok Leyland channels for our Switch.
Right.
And they are actually very thrilled to see that the new technology products is coming, and kind of they are part of this transformation in the journey towards this transition to clean mobility.
Right.
So all this are actually posing a challenge. By our way of actions, we also believe that we are creating this as an opportunity.
Right. Have you identified, I'm sure you have, but have you identified your core target group, not just in terms of the form and factor that we see now, but also for special applications?
Yeah, so if you look at it, we have already worked on e-commerce players, which is volume based.
Right.
We have worked on load category, because we are the first one to launch 1.7 ton payload series. And even if you look at our payload to weight category, unladen weight category, we are about 48%. which is higher in the EV segment till anybody has.
Right.
So our
Right.
payload is 1.2 ton
Mm.
for our IeV 3
Right.
series, whereas competition is much lower. You know that when
Yeah.
compared to what we are.
Close
So
to 700, 750
yeah.
kg.
So this is what we will give benefit to our customers, because per ton, per kilometer travel, ours will be much efficient. That's what we believe.
Right.
The last 2-3 portions of the other applications, since you have asked, we
Yes.
already have a tipper
Okay.
applications. We are already prepared a waste management application.
So,
Our team is already working on cold storage. All this will come in the
So
same
again,
platform.
municipal corporations would be
Absolutely.
the direct beneficiary over here.
Absolutely.
Right. What is the scope on e-mobility as a service? You touched upon that point, and now you are looking at providing an entire ecosystem. But is the end customer willing to pay for it? Has the mindset changed beyond just looking at acquisition cost and saying, "Hey, this company is offering the entire package in a subscription model or other models that there are in the system"? From a cargo side perspective, is this accepted by the customer?
I think there is enough demonstration already happened in the three-wheeler segment, which is helping here as well.
Right.
So, firstly, what we are saying is, if you look at our cash outflow, most of these buyers buy in financing. That's what we are saying. Your financing cost will be high, but your fuel cost will be low in the EV.
Right.
So, what we are saying is, if you run about 150 kilometer in our IeV series, you will save about 17,000 rupees a month. So we are doing a complete TCO calculation with our customers.
Okay.
And we will demonstrate it to the customers at the ground level. So we know very well what is the electricity charge. We know very well what is the interest rates for a EMI. So we are working completely. That's why we are bringing financiers, dealers, everybody together, so that they are all part of this ecosystem to prove to customers. Because anyhow, no customer in this segment is coming and buying in cash the full vehicle, or
Absolutely.
they are going to finance.
Right.
So monthly you have to pay EMI, and monthly you have to spend for fuel. So ultimately, if you prove to them the monthly cash flow outflow is beneficial, that's what we have to do, and that's what we are doing.
You are also catering to a segment which is the owner come driver. So is there something as a bad profile in terms of the finance bit that you all have to deal with? Because you might be experiencing a lot of such customers aspiring to enter the entrepreneur streak with an ELCV like that, the one that you're offering.
See, the bankability portion doesn't change between EV or diesel.
Right.
So if somebody is credit worthy to buy, definitely is credit worthy to buy EV as well. But I believe most of the organized sale initially we are doing will be for organized sector players, where they will be having a credibility limit, larger amount.
Right.
And the retail one will take a little bit time for us to crack and work around with multiple things. So that's why we are initially starting with.
Right. Beyond your signed MOUs, is there an assessment of the kind of demand you will end up with, at least for the remaining fiscal, if not for the midterm?
No, obviously we are not counting everything on MOU. The dealerships, we are going to do a ATL, BTL at dealerships. Dealerships are thrilled. In fact, some of the dealers are taking target themselves and telling that we will do so many vehicles this year. I think that's very important. So we are doing multiple things. We will engage on the ground with the dealership, because on this segment, most of them is on the ground on that particular region, how it works.
Right.
And we'll have to crack that, and that's what we do.
Right. I know it is a little early days because the kind of demand that you are forecasting over here is good enough to keep you busy.
Yeah.
But looking at the fact that you are also the global chief, are you looking at some export aspirations, maybe to SAARC regions or the Middle East? Anything on those lines?
Obviously, we are looking at those. If you look at today, both the Nepal and Bangladesh dealer are coming and signing a MOU.
Fantastic.
They are taking already committing vehicles.
Right.
This is when we launch, and over a period of time, we will reach out to all Southeast Asian countries, Middle East. We will look at multiple locations to ensure that we will leverage the channel available within the group.
Right, right. Slightly digressing, because I told you that I might throw in a question on the bus side of the business. But leasing continues to be in the news, and there seems to be a cry out from the industry that more interventions are needed, because how much can an OEM take on his order book in terms of the financial liability that is expected. So a word on, what are the latest interventions that you are expecting from the government to make wet lease a viable business case?
So we have been talking to government on this, and the PM e-bus seva, which has recently come, has actually addressed some of the issues which we have talked about, which is payment security mechanism, escrow and viability gap funding, assured payment for 3 months period, and many more.
Right.
So central government, state governments, everybody are working to make sure how to make it viable. We have also told government that we have to bring in operators, like what we have done in Transport for London. Most of the operators run it, and the OEM give the vehicle to them, and they get the funding from the government to run the electric vehicles. So government is thinking about it. I am sure they will look at multiple models. All that we are saying is, if you want to scale up large with the PM's vision of 10,000 buses, you need to bring in multiple stakeholders.
Right.
We need to bring in leasing companies. We need to bring in financiers. We are already OEM are in place. Government is already there in the one stakeholders. So we'll have to bring in more players to make sure that this can be scaled up to 10,000, which will work with the government.
Right, right. Last two questions. One, I want to start off with, because I know you are a techie at heart. So, talking about the achievements of space through ISRO, and knowing that there is an inherent connection between adopting space technology in automotive, how excited are you with these times? Back-to-back successful missions.
No, absolutely. It excites not only as an engineer but as a nation.
Right.
I think what the scientists and engineers have achieved in Chandrayaan as well as in Aditya L1 mission actually motivates all of us.
Right.
Now, how do we work together? I think management lesson a lot can be taken from ISRO's missions, which I believe our management team, including me, have learnt a lot.
Okay.
How to achieve some impossible missions. I would say the electric double decker, which we did,
Comes close.
is very close to what is like that mission, because initially everybody said it's impossible. I think it's very close, and technologically, I believe that there will be a lot of explorations happening. And if anything has to be done with us, and we'll be happy to work with them together.
Right. Lastly, we've all gathered to celebrate 75 years of Ashok Leyland. So, your first memories of Ashok Leyland, and what do you think of this fantastic run?
Yeah, so you know that I have started my career in Ashok Leyland in my first stint of about 8 years, and I was a passionate R&D engineer, particularly in combustion and engine.
Right.
I think from there to what we are doing today is more sustainable, more looking at commitment towards ESG, and as a group, there is a lot of sustainable practices and governance which has come in. I think we have, as a group, evolved in a much more, what I would say, futuristic way than where we were at that time.
Right.
I'm very happy that I was there during that exciting time, also on now in this exciting time of technology which is coming in. During those days, it used to be the Italian and the Japanese technologies we used to work. But this time, I'm happy that we are looking more of Atmanirbhar.
Right.
And either it is Ashok Leyland or Switch, if you look at it, most of the technologies are in-house developed.
Right.
The VCUs we develop is completely software coded by our engineers, and many things are done locally.
Right.
So I think we have grown along with the country. So the country has matured to get into Atmanirbhar, so as our group as well.
Right. Thank you so much. We wish you longevity at a personal level and at a brand level.
Thank you, Ashish. Thanks for